Yes guys, welcome back, and today we are going to be reviewing some footage over the weekend just gone, specifically Friday the 16th. For some of you guys that may not know, I injured my elbow in training. This is due to a sparring session, and today we're going to be reviewing that footage. What I'm going to do then is play the video start to finish with no interruptions, and then we're going to go back and review the footage. Here we go. Okay, so that's the video. Now, there are a few things to note. I just want to go over two really quick points before we break down the video. Number one being that jiu-jitsu is, although it is a non-contact sport, a lot of injuries do occur. They do occur in competitions and they do occur in training. So that's important to note. A lot of guys speculate whether it is actually useful in the streets, and that's not a conversation for today. But what I will tell you is that you have to be very specific and careful in training, how you apply that training, the standards in which you set yourself. You just have to understand that this is a sport and a discipline in life where, because of the nature of what it is, you will get injured. Like, there's just no way around it. So I just wanted to go over that very quickly. And also, for the guys who may or may not know what jiu-jitsu is or what martial arts are, your experience is typically graded by a belt system, which comes with years of experience, time served on the mat, etc. And then you'll be awarded a different belt. Specifically, it will come in a different colour. Now, in terms of jiu-jitsu and further in terms of our gym, please do not look at the belts and think that that means anything. For us, the belt system doesn't really mean anything. It is not indicative of how good you are at jiu-jitsu. It might be an indicator, but it's not specific. Everyone's different. We all walk our own journey in life and in jiu-jitsu. And moreover, when it comes to the gym, our specific gym at 210, some of the white belts will get onto you. So that's just important to know. You have to be very humble in knowing the fact that you may be of a higher belt, lower belts may just be as good as you. That is a credit to them as individuals and how serious they take their training, number one. And number two is a credit to the teachings um, and the professors at our gym. So I just wanted to note that. So let's go back into the video and we'll break down specific details on what actually happened. So you may or may not have seen this individual. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but this brother here, his name's Nadeem. And you would have seen him on the channel throughout. He is one of my favourite training partners because he is very versatile, he's very agile, athletic, and he has a lot of dexterity in terms of the way he moves, his flexibility and the submissions that he can endure. So for me, it turns out that this brother here is a very good training partner. He pushes me and I'd like to think that I push him. Now, in this specific sparring session here, me and him are not going 100%. We're probably going about 40-50%. So that's important to note. This is not like a world's final match. We're in training. We have nothing to prove to each other, especially considering he's a blue belt and I'm a purple belt. I don't have nothing to prove to him. But because of our skill level, he also has nothing to prove to me. So there's that. We're not going 100% here. Now, in this specific situation right here, Nadeem pulls guard specifically to a De La Riva guard here. This is a position that we was going over in the technique of that day. So he pulled guard to that position, very good. And I was kind of letting him do what he wanted to do, not in the sense that I'm much better than him, but in the sense that I wanted to let him work and see what ideas he would come up with, because just before that session he was walking me through his mindset and how sometimes he may struggle putting a piece of information from here and here together so that it actually comes to across as a concept in his mind so that he can apply techniques and stuff. So he pulled to De La Riva and it was a very good position here. He manages to get the sweep as well. So I break the grip and I'm addressing the foot. I step over right here into this headquarters position. And this is where Nadeem's very good at working off balancing and sweeps. So he done that. We're resetting the position. As you can see, he went for his great little tripod sweep. I thought he was going to attack a footlock here. There, as you can see, he's got the grip over my foot. One thing to also notice is that Nadeem has a very good wrestling background, although he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner for the most part. He's very good at wrestling, so his guard passing style is not like mine. Although I should have seen this guard pass coming, credit to the brother, he always catches me with this. Right there. It's that over-under style of guard passing. His head right here is so close to my chest that I have no ability to frame, to create space. The only thing that I can do here is post on the hip. Because he moves so quickly, if I was to force my hand underneath, he would have gone to the other side, which is what you're going to see in a moment. Right there. The fact that he passes guard like that, it's very similar to myself actually, and it's actually a credit to this brother here because I'd like to think that he questions me a lot and he likes to learn from me. So it's kind of like fighting myself in this video. It's quite humorous to see. But anyway, the fact that he's pressured the guard pass like that, it indicates a reaction from me where it's not panic, it's just I'm trying to frame and I'm trying to defend, and because of that it opens up opportunities for him to pass from left to right. That's all that is. And here you can see he's got a nice little grip around the waist. He manages to control my arm right here. It's quite awkward. Now, me and Nadim always get into this situation where I have his back and I'm trying to submit him, or he has my back and he's trying to submit me. I think this is just because our games are so similar. I might have to address that in future sessions with this guy, because the way that we roll together and our games are very similar, meaning that we're very readable to each other. You can see here he's trying to go for a choke. His right hand is on the collar here. So what I'm doing here is, my intention is to grab the lapel. I want to take the slack out of it. How I do that is by passing the lapel through this leg and extending my leg so that it takes the slack out of this area here. What that does is that it nullifies the grip strength he has up here, and he's not able to choke me anymore. Which, by the way, he is aware of this. That's why he's trying to hand fight here. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and these little details will fly over a lot of the guys' heads who are like lower belts or are just looking at it for what you see rather than what it is. Now, because of the fact that he's threatening the choke, I know he will get it if I don't address it properly. That's number one. Number two, again, it's like the guard passing situation here. Now, he switched from choking me from the back, because I switched my hips like that. He had to come up here and retake the back to solidify the choke. Now that gave me the perfect opportunity to pass the lapel here, you can see it here, to my hand. This nullifies the choke. But what it also does is that it exposes my arm here for an armbar. It's not so prevalent right now, but once he adjusts, you'll see what I mean. So look, I've nullified the choke right there, taking the slack out if he was to address it. Here is where my arm is exposed. Because he was moving me, I had to adjust my base so that I didn't succumb to him being able to take my back properly. He knows this. He also has a similar style in terms of defending the back. Now, I just want to note that the fact that I've posted my hand here, it does initially help with his back attack attempt, but what it also does simultaneously is it allows him to chain his attacks. He was going for a choke, a cross-collar choke from the back. It's very traditional, it's very simple, high finish rate, but posting the arm allowed him to switch from that to the armbar. See, now he goes for the gift wrap on the arm here. Now, because he has my arm, I feel like in this situation I need to stand up and almost shake him off. I would rather do that than roll towards my back and put my arse on the floor so that he is in the mount. So he's seeing this, and Nadim has very good reactions in sense of like knowing when to attack submissions. This example is very different. You're going to see in a second here. So he's attacking the arm. My initial reaction is to use this leg and hop over the front of him so that there's no torque or leverage on the back of my elbow. What happens is I slip. Watch this. There. I slipped. And when I slipped, it moved my arm in a position where for him to be able to finish, the back of my elbow right here, it has to be in line with the front of his hip, but it isn't. It's actually sticking out of this gap here. This is the way that it's facing. So because of that, when he applies pressure straight down, it's torquing my elbow in a way that's not attacking my joints anymore. Now it's attacking my tendons. So yeah, that is important to know. At the time, I thought he broke my ulnar bone. Your ulnar is a bone that runs in line with your pinky finger to your elbow, which is exactly where the pain is. I don't know if you can see that there. That's the injury right there. It's actually quite swollen. But so that's initially what I thought happened. You can see me trying to shake my arm because I feel like it is tendon, but then I feel like my bone is really hurting. And I just want to shout out my coach here. He's a bad motherfucker in the sense that he don't care. Like, he's the first one to say, yo, keep the camera rolling. Like, in our gym, not to like big us up more than we need to be, but like, we're the type of individuals that we're going to show you exactly what it is. There's no editing. There's no second takes. I think that was a very pure moment in terms of some of the contradicting values at 210. I hope you guys don't see that negatively. It's just some of the ways that we are brought up, especially in that gym. There are a lot of kids in that gym, as you can see in the background. He is also one of the kids that come through the kids class. And once you elevate in terms of your technique and your time on the mat, you're elevated to the adults class naturally. And these guys are kind of indoctrinated from young to the point where the idea is that you have to be real to yourself and to other people from day one, and you have to show things for what they are. Now, what kind of teachers would we all be, but specifically my head coach? What kind of teacher would he be if, like, he just said, yo, cut the camera. Now, for sure, it's an injury, but also, I'm not in any immediate life-threatening danger. My arm's not broken, even though at the time it wasn't 100% that we knew that. But there are loads of people on hand to help. Obviously, behind the camera, you can't see what's going on. But there are a lot of people still rolling, and there are also a lot of people supervising that, so that if anything more serious was to happen, they would be accompanied. Now, me, the specific example to me, I've been through my fair share of injuries. I've fractured my collarbone at training. I've fractured my 2 fingers at training, dislocated both of my knees. So I'm not new to injuries. So the teachers are a little bit more laid back in terms of me, because they know that I can handle it, number one. And number two, that me and Nadeem wouldn't intentionally put each other in endangering situations where hospital is imminent. Obviously, that's a case-by-case basis, but I just wanted to help you guys understand the kind of thinking behind why my teacher said, yo, like, keep the camera rolling, because you're seeing it raw, you're seeing it live, you're seeing it how it actually happened. And also, bear in mind, you can't see it now, but when you see the tape on my fingers, that's because I'm already rolling with 2 injuries. I have 2 fingers with hairline fractures on it in that video and right now. My left hand index finger and my right hand middle finger, they both have hairline fractures on it because of training. So I just thought that was important to note, like the mindset of the guys that are at 210. While some of you may think that it is quite immature to just keep rolling while you have an injury, and that may so be the case, but it's also the case that you just have to shut up and train regardless. You know, you can't let little things like that. If I can walk and talk and move my arms, best believe I'm training. So that's the mindset. There you can see the tape on both my fingers. I've had these injuries for quite some weeks now because I keep training. They don't they don't heal 100% in the time frame that they should. So that's the video. That's exactly what happened. And as of Sunday the 18th, it's been 2 days since that video and the injury occurred. I've been to the hospital. They've informed me that it's not a break, which is good, that it's more than likely a severe tendon issue, but then they said that it's going to take 1 week and some physio to heal, which I'm very happy of. The reason why is because I'm going into the army soon. You guys may know this, you guys may not, but because of that, I don't want anything to hinder or impede my application in terms of me getting into phase 1 training. If my bone was broken in my elbow or my ulnar, it's at least 8 to 10 weeks, at least. So that would have majorly put me back. But anyway, guys, that was the video. In case you guys were at the gym on that day and you didn't know what happened, I have shared the video in the group chat, but I just thought I would address it publicly. I thought it was quite hilarious how that happened. I've actually suffered 2 injuries rolling with this brother here, to no fault of his own, not solely anyway. I take full responsibility for all the injuries that incur on me, as I put myself in that situation. So, the first injury that I suffered while rolling with Nadeem, I dislocated my knee. So, it is what it is. But these things just happen. So yeah, I just thought I was addressing that video, and I thought it made for good content. So, until next time, guys, peace.